Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending our June full court meeting. This meeting is specifically for our budget hearing. So because of that, we have a 5:30 requirement by law to allow 30 minutes for any citizens that want to speak and ask us questions about the budget. We were delayed a couple of minutes due to some technical sound issues, so if we need to go beyond the 6 o'clock mark, we can absolutely do that to make sure everybody's heard that wants to be heard. So from 5:30 to 6, it is specifically for budgetary items. So anybody that would like to come and speak to the commission on budgetary questions, you can do so from 5:30 to 6. At the end of our full court meeting, we'll have our general audience questions that you can ask other things about or speak about questions or concerns at that time. So with that said, I will open the floor with Sheriff Page. I think he would like to come and speak to the commission.
Good afternoon. A lot of discussion about the flock cameras and the safety of them. Can you hear me now? A lot of discussion about the flock cameras and the safety of the information that it gathers. We have a flock rep here tonight, and I have told him if he cannot convince the citizens of this county that they are safe, then we'll do whatever the commission decides to do with them. But keep in mind, they were to offset having to hire new deputies. They were to help us fight crime on the streets, more eyes to be out there to help make sure the county's safe. They have helped in several cases, from somebody being hit and killed by a vehicle, drug cases, multiple cases. They have helped a lot. And I have to say this, for those people that are so worried about the flock cameras, you better be worried about cell phones. There's a lot more data on cell phones than there ever could be on a flock camera. And I want to say that. So that representative is here tonight with flock. If anybody has questions, we'll let him talk. If that's all right with y'all.
Yeah, so I think we need to hear from the citizens that have concerns, let them address their concerns to us, and then if the representative would like to come up after that, he can speak to us. All right, I'll open the floor. Each person that would like to come up and speak, you'll get 3 minutes.
All right. My name is Emery Thompson, 1854 Stewart Road. I have one question. So the debate is over the deficit of the budget that is on the table tonight to be passed. I know there's some concern about that being in a deficit. So my question was, do we know the last time that we passed a deficit budget and then it actually came out by the time the fiscal year was over that we were in that deficit? Because it looks like that we kind of consistently overcome that proposed budget, because a budget is just an estimation. It's not all the facts, it's just an estimation. So I would be interested to know when the last time we failed to actually overcome that particular deficit. And so, because I think we would find that we're doing a pretty good job. So then to the commissioners, I just encourage you to vote for this particular budget. I think it's been explained, it's been looked at, it's been talked about. All the line items are pretty simple. They're all within reason of what they have been since 24, 25, 25, 26. So I just encourage you to pass that and allow it to get to moving so that business can go and continue. And so just my encouragement, and appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you.
I would like to speak just the fact that we have not added anything to debt services for the past 3-4 years now, which debt services is where we, you want to explain just exactly what the debt services is?
Where'd Chad go? He ran away. He ran away.
Anyway, I'm sure he can do a lot better.
Yeah.
It is where we,
If we have to borrow money for something.
Yeah, if we have to borrow money, it's our credit rating, is basically, Director Markham,
yes, we do have money in debt service, but we are not funding it. Therefore, whenever we come and we need to add on to the Justice Center or, build something new that we've got to borrow money, that is where we get our credit rating, is through the debt service. So the more money we can have in debt service, the better off we are. And we have used that money and pulled away to keep the deficit down. And, but our deficit's still going up. So, it's not like we're staying the same. We are pulling money away from things to keep it low.
So how much were we in a deficit for fiscal year 25-26? What's our deficit?
Director Markham, I think you walked out. His question was, we've passed a deficit budget for the last several years, but how many years have we actually closed the books with an actual deficit the last number of years?
It's been several. I can't tell you the exact date.
So then we're not, you're saying we're pulling money from someplace, but we're actually not, because we're actually coming out to the good. I have to look at it as a business, because I run a business, so sure, I can pass a deficit budget, but I make enough money to overcome that deficit.
Do you bank on money will come from somewhere in your business?
Sure.
If you go to the bank and borrow money, well, it'll come from somewhere. I don't got it. I don't know how I'm going to get it, but it'll come from somewhere.
Okay, well,
That's what we're doing.
what about the $6 million that's coming? Could we take a portion of that next budget year and put that into,
I wouldn't take part of that this budget year.
There's 3.1 million in debt service right now. That's what's in that account right now.
I got you. So we have to say borrow,
To make payments with, yes.
I got you, to do that, so, okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Please, next person come up.
Good afternoon, Chairman, Commissioners. My name is John Dotson. I'm a resident of White County at 362 Salem Road. I'd like to just bring up a few topics. I know people are going to be talking about the flock cameras tonight, and I think there's a lot of positive aspects to them, but I also want to bring up the negative aspects that people may not know about to make sure that we have all the information that we can have before we make any approvals. With the flock cameras, there's a lot of privacy concerns that arise due to constant surveillance in public spaces. And keep in mind, as I go over these 5 or 6 items, I don't have the answers to these. I'm just trying to raise awareness and bring attention to the other side of it. There's potential for misuse of footage by authorities or third parties that can lead to abuse, and that's proven to have happened already, where people in the police department have used it for personal use. There's high costs associated with the installation and maintenance, which may deter users. And there's dependence on technology that can lead to system failures or malfunctions. That's already happened. We've already caught, there's already been people that have been caught that have been hacked into the flock systems. And the people that we don't catch may be the Chinese. How are we gonna know about that? So that's a very big concern. Data storage and management issues may arise, risking loss of important footage. So there's a lot of personal footage that's going to be caught on the flock cameras, and who knows where that's going. We can be told where it's going, but I don't know what kind of transparency there may be about that. And then ethical implications regarding consent and monitoring individuals without their knowledge. It has to do with civil rights, it has to do with the Fourth Amendment, and there's an awful lot of things that may not be so good about the flock safety cameras, although you may hear the police departments talk about how easy it makes their job and how much more safe it makes the communities. So there's a lot of things to be weighed there, and I'm asking you to take a look at both sides. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners and fellow citizens of White County. One of our founding fathers, John Adams, once said, "Liberty once lost is lost forever."
Please state your name for us.
Yes, Lolita Woodhouse. Andrew Jackson also told us, "But you must remember, my fellow citizens, that eternal vigilance by the people is the price of liberty, and that you must pay the price if you wish to secure the blessing." Flock, with their warrantless surveillance, openly violates the Fourth Amendment in that we the people have the right to be secure in our persons, our houses, our papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. There are already documented cases of Americans being wrongfully detained and even serving jail time because of Flock. While the company promotes their product as being safe and secure, the hardware in the cameras and the data sharing and collection across multiple platforms leaves it open to anyone who has the money for it. The chips used in the cameras have capabilities far above what Flock tells you. Tech giants like NVIDIA and Qualcomm are involved. They use the Qualcomm Snapdragon chips. They are compatible with IoT, which is the Internet of Things, and 6G, already there waiting. They utilize large language AI models to scan, process, and learn from human movement. The CEO of Qualcomm said earlier this year, the tech industry is going to create a digital twin of the entire world. Imagine what that entails. Technocracy is trying to root itself in our neighborhoods, and if we do not make wise decisions to protect our citizens, we will lose the liberty so many of our fathers, grandfathers, and sons fought for. As a representative republic, we elect you to represent the wishes of your constituents, and it is incumbent upon you to act and vote accordingly. Benjamin Franklin once said, "Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." I hope that the vote for Flock is made in, with concern for your constituents. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Rhett Holland. Live here in White County, 686 Victoria Lane. I came today to voice my opposition to the Flock safety camera system because I believe it raises serious concerns about privacy, individual freedom, and the role of government in our daily lives. Our system of government is supposed to investigate people when there is reason to believe crime has been committed, not monitor everyone just in case something might happen. These cameras record and store the movements of ordinary people who have done nothing wrong. Every trip to a doctor's office, a church, a political event, or a friend's house can become part of a searchable database. The overwhelming majority of people being recorded are law-abiding citizens. To me, that's not targeted policing, it's mass surveillance. Many people have warned for decades about a future where governments could take the movements of ordinary citizens. That's the kind of big brother system many Americans have always feared, and we should do everything in our power to prevent that from becoming our reality. My concern isn't whether the people operating these systems today have good intentions. My concern is how tomorrow, what happens tomorrow. History has shown that once surveillance tools are put in place, they often expand beyond their original purpose. Databases grow, access increases, and policies change. The question is whether we're willing to accept society where everyone's movements are tracked and stored simply because that information might be useful someday. Public safety and personal liberty don't have to be opposing goals. Law enforcement already has tools available to investigate specific suspects through warrants, subpoenas, and judicial oversight. Those safeguards exist to protect both safety and freedom. I urge this body to reject a system that allows the routine tracking of innocent citizens. Law-abiding citizens should not give up their privacy just to move freely in their community. A free society should not treat every person as a political suspect We should think carefully before allowing government to place tools at our expense to easily track where people have been, where they're going, and who they associate with.
Thank you. Mr. Benningfield, you want to address us?
Hi, I'm Kara, 686 Victoria Lane, Sparta. See, I'm here to voice my opposition to the flock surveillance system as well. I repeatedly hear two arguments in favor of flock from people who never learned how our country was framed and are willing to surrender rights after being sold safety and convenience. The first being your phone tracks you more than flock does. The flaw in that argument is that warrants or subpoenas are required for police to get info from our phones. And we're also able to put our phones in Faraday cages if we think that is needed to be done. See, that's not so with flock, no matter what flock claims. The second argument I often hear is if you're not doing anything wrong, you have nothing to worry about. This one really concerns me because we have all seen many examples of corruption and abuse by various people in different situations. Flock will be no different. Some of you might trust this system to never be abused, but my life experiences tell me otherwise. Some people see surveillance and think safety. I see intrusion being normalized. A free people should never become comfortable with governments proving their lives without cause. And I would much rather see another deputy hired than any money whatsoever going towards flock.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good evening. My name is Penny Whaley. I have something that I think that the flock cameras are a good thing. I know that everybody here is pretty much opposed to them, but I really do. You know, they have helped save, like Mr. Page said, they have helped save a lot of people. You know, you have criminals come through your town, those cameras have the LPRs that see that. They can tell about stolen vehicles and things of that nature. And to be honest with you, our privacy is already, it's taken. If you use a cell phone, you use Alexa, you use Siri, you use anything. You even Google something. You come up, and the next thing when you pop your computer open, say you Google new TVs. The next time you open your computer, what does it do? It pops up advertisement for new TV. So we're already in that mode. So I really think that the flock cameras are beneficial to the police department and the sheriff's department. Thank you.
So my name is Ken Morrow at 123 West Everett Street. I didn't prepare much of a statement, but I did want to offer some quotes from founding fathers. Thomas Jefferson said, "When tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes duty." I'm sure we've all heard that. And this is definitely a point where we need to rebel against these flock cameras. You can say that my cell phone is spying on me, but it's my responsibility to ensure my own security in that. I can lock things down. I can't 100% do things. I have to make some sacrifices, but it's a choice that I make. It's not something my government has imposed upon me, and I think that that should all be considered. It's my choice, not yours. I'm the taxpayer that hired you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Cynthia Bernard. And as far as this whole rigmarole about the flock cameras, again, our privacy is already taken. Your laptop, there's cameras already, there have been cameras already at stoplights. And my thing is that if someone takes your child, kidnaps your child out of your front yard, takes your car and drives it away, and it's stolen, takes your animals, whatever it is.
Ms. Bernard, please address the commissioners, not the...
Whatever it is.
Please, audience, you had your time to speak.
Those cameras will help you get your child back, will help you get your animals back, will help you get your vehicle back. One deputy cannot do that, as opposed to all of the flock cameras. So I have animals, I have children, I have a car. More power to the sheriff's department. They need more help. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, y'all know me, I'm No Tax Connie, and despite what people may say, I didn't give myself that name. The sheriff's department gave it to me. So when people wants to say something about that, they do make sure they know the story. Okay, I'm against the flock cameras also, and I'm going to tell you why. If they're supposed to be so great, and the sheriff has said himself that we can put cameras in these neighborhoods for these drug houses, then why don't we put the cameras in the neighborhoods where the criminals and the activities going on instead of everyday citizens that's abiding the law? And I also want to know where the money is coming from for that, because I keep hearing $44,000, the money don't add up. We started out with 11 cameras, then we went to 13, now we're down to 12. There's just, nothing adds up to all of this. And we was talking about the $6 million that we're supposed to get from waste management in the landfill. That needs to go back to the taxpayers. It needs to come off of our property taxes because we're the one that paid for that. So we need to get that money back. And I'm not one of these people that cares if you like me or not. I'm going to tell you like it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address us about the budget?
Good afternoon. Bill Templeton. Last Monday night, the budget committee met, and there were several items that was being passed on to the school. Are there any changes to those amendments that the school board met Thursday night impacting the budget that we'll talk about tonight? I just want to because there were several items on the agenda that was left up to the school board contingent on
the school board,
on hearing from the school board.
Director Markham said there was.
Passed their budget, fine.
Okay, all right.
There was nothing.
All right, one other question. It was reported on the news today that, we're getting the $6 million. I'm just wondering, did Waste Management just wake up this morning and say, hey, I'm going to give you $6 million? Or I just want to know at whose prompting they decided to write a check. Did they initiate it, or did it come from our executive or from our commissioner or whatever committee? I just want to know at whose prompting they decided all of a sudden that we're going to pay you $6 million early.
So it was not all of a sudden, and I think the executive is going to speak on it a little more later, but to specifically address your question, part of the whole plan was we were going to receive increments of money as things happen. This money is coming in earlier than anticipated because they received permits earlier than they anticipated. So it's always been the plan, and I'll let the executive, I'm assuming you're going to speak on that a little bit.
Okay.
So
he'll success fee.
Okay.
Yes, that's always been part of the plan. It's just received earlier than we anticipated.
Okay. Well, that has not been communicated very well within the citizens of White County, and I had several people ask me that very same question. Did they just wake up this morning and say, hey, we're going to send you $6 million? And I was just worried about the timing. I know that we're going to have new administration and new committees, new council commissioners upcoming. I just want to make sure that the commission that's outgoing doesn't earmark those funds, for lack of a better word, irresponsibly, because they're not going to be here to, I just don't want to give them carte blanche to fund any kind of pet project or whatever they want to do with it before the new administration takes over.
Thank you.
Quick question for you. Would you be willing to give it back to the community? Or is that a pet project?
Right now, I don't have I don't have a dog in this fight, but I don't think it should go back as a property tax. That's a one and done deal. It needs to be funded.
That would hurt you, wouldn't it?
That,
You would have to vote for a property tax increase next year.
if that's what, I don't know.
You said it right there. You just answered the question
Give
right
it
there.
back to the people.
You said you would have to vote for a property tax increase next year.
That's right.
So there's 9 of us for sure that are not gonna be here next budget cycle. Okay? 9 of the 14, possibly more. His point, which I think is very valid.
You don't care anything about your constituents right now?
I 100% do, but I'm not gonna judge, I'm not gonna jerk the rug. I'm not gonna jerk the rug out from under 9 or 10 people.
Let's listen to the next.
Hey, I also agree that I think you.
Please state your name.
My name's Eric Dovine. I'm running for District 2 County Commissioner. And I think that if you take this $6 million and give it back to property tax for 1 year, you're exactly right. You're doing that, so we'll raise it up to next year. We all understand that. Well, we've got Sheriff's Department. We've got EMA. We've got roads. We've got so much stuff in this county that $6 million would do a lot for it, besides lowering our property taxes for 1 year.
Why was it whenever I was trying to raise property tax last year and get it to the point that it was supposed to be, to give the sheriff the raises that he wanted, all these people was against it?
Right, and I understand that. You have to have the money.
So you want me to give up being able to give $6 million back?
How much is that gonna help? How much is $6 million gonna take off of my property taxes or anybody else's in here versus our EMA, versus our roads, versus.
About 60 cents.
Connie, please.
That means a lot.
If you done it all.
For a year. It's for a year.
Well, it could be longer than that.
Eric, address the commission, please. Ms. Davis, please, you had your moment to speak.
I just think that $6 million could go a lot further in our county than a one-time year save. That's all.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, guys. My name is Joe Davis. I live on Old Kentucky Road. You guys got that $6 million coming in from that dump. I think rather than just giving it to, taking it off everybody's taxes, we don't realize everybody in the county, the majority of this county, probably 90%, is positively affected by that landfill money. The 200 or 300 people who live around it ought to be compensated for the negative impact we're getting from that landfill. Drive by there, it stinks already to high heavens, and they're just breaking ground. It's not going to get any better. Traffic is at all-time high. There's more garbage laying on that road than I've ever seen. They're working up there. They don't have no MOT half the time when they're working at the intersection there. Subpar work being done. What about the people who live out there? I seen you guys fought tooth and nail because this guy was trying to put in a beer joint up there. Because there was 2 houses close to them and a church. Oh my God, we're affecting 2 families. We're affecting, y'all put a 250-acre garbage pile down there, going to negatively impact thousands of people. And we didn't hear a peep out of you. But we're affecting 2 families and a church, and oh my goodness, we're going to stop the train right there. But nobody said nothing about the impact of that garbage dump. Why don't we take some of that money? If we got excess of money, let's give it to the people, spread it out over X amount of years, and give it to the people that's going to have the negative impact from that landfill.
Thank you, Mr. Davis.
I'm back.
I'll give you 1 minute, Ms. Davis.
Okay.
You used 2 the first.
I'm back. Okay, if y'all remember the last time whenever we brought up about putting trackers on all of the county vehicles, the sheriff department was against that, but yet they want to track us every move we make. I have a problem with that because we pay for those cars. We pay for those gas. We pay for everything to do with those vehicles. We should have a right to know where and how they are being used. Thank you.
Thank you. So I saw a few people come in late. We're a little bit after 6. I'll take a couple or three more people that would like to address the commission before we pause. Go right ahead. What was your name?
Beth Razan, 10675 Old Kentucky Road. I'm a neighbor of the dump, basically. And I'm a little concerned. I have a question. One, I'd like to see what the budget was before, because I'm newer to the area, as to what the budget is still now. It's still really high. And does the $6 million check that we're getting, does that have anything to do with the special use permit for blanket asbestos that's going to be 3 miles from my house? That just got issued last month on May 19th.
I'm not aware of that personally.
Anybody? Because I want to make sure that's controlled properly, because that's not good, getting water and air, and my property value, down, down.
You're exactly right.
Thank you, I think that was about it.
Thank you.
My name is Danny Blitz, and I would like to go back to Flock with a couple of things that haven't been discussed yet. Keep in mind that when you hear, if we hear from the representative for Flock from Palantir, that this is a salesman, right, just like a pharmaceutical salesman. They're going to tell you what you want to hear, and they're going to tell you things that are not completely true. Things such as, oh, this gets erased. It's deleted. That is not true. We have, part of our package, predictive software. Well, for them to predict something, they need to maintain the status and the information on every individual that could possibly be the person that might commit a crime in the future. So what is that? That's not okay. They're obviously holding on to this information. And not only that, this information is sold. It is sold. It's a private company. Palantir is a private company. They can sell it to whoever they want, and they do. So they can hold on to this information. It's shared nationwide, and it is not deleted because they have to hold on to those profiles. So just keep in mind that when you took your oath, I think you all took an oath to the Constitution. You are in violation of it if you vote for Flock because it goes against our Fourth Amendment. Yes, people are used to a surveillance state. This is not okay. This really started back in the early 2000s with TSA, and now we've become used to it. That is part of the plan, is for people to get used to this. I too would much rather have a human being seeing us. What did they do when there were children who were abducted before? It took a human being to do the work. Right now, we have an egregious assault on our rights, on our natural rights, to go about our business privately. And you would be a part of that if you continue to renew the budget line for Flock. We're asking that you don't renew that, and that on top of that, you require that the Flock cameras, as well as the additional equipment to make it go, is disposed of before July 1st. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, my name's Caleb Tench, live at 2528 Old Bon Air Road. And I'd like to say that I feel our rights as citizens are being encroached upon. These Flock cameras are a breach of our Fourth Amendment right. They may just seem like a couple of cameras around town to help protect us, but they are foundational infrastructure as a technocratic mass surveillance and tracking system. It is being implemented throughout our nation to mass surveillance citizens. This goes against everything America was founded on, and it goes against everything that it means to be an American. Please make the right choice for us, your citizens, and our children to do your part by banning these flock cameras and the surveillance state they feed. Thank you.
I'll take one more person if anybody else would like to come up.
Hi, my name is Leanne Littlejohn. Speaking about the flock cameras again, I urge you to reject flock camera systems and any expansion of automated mass surveillance in our county. These cameras are not simple traffic tools. They are automated license plate readers that photograph every vehicle, record its location, time, and direction of travel, and feed that data into a centralized database, often shared across agencies and retained for weeks or months, if we are to take their word for that. It creates a digital dragnet tracking everyday movements of every law-abiding citizen in our community. That's not law enforcement, that is surveillance. Infrastructure sold once again for our safety. Our Fourth Amendment exists for precisely this reason, to protect the people from unreasonable searches. The founders knew that a government able to monitor where you go, when you go, and with whom is a government that can intimidate and control you. They fought a revolution against a king who used general warrants and writs of assistance to track colonial subjects. But today, flock systems are digital writs of assistance, blanket, suspicionless tracking of the entire population. If the government can build a map of your life without a warrant, without probable cause, or even notifying you, then the right to be secure in your person, house, papers, and effects has been reduced to only an empty slogan. We understand that freedom requires privacy in our ordinary affairs. You should not have to explain to the government why you went to a doctor, a church, a political meeting, or a friend's house. Yet Flock creates exactly that capability. Crime is a real problem, but we do not fight crime by treating every citizen as a suspect. We already have targeted tools, investigations based on reasonable suspicion and warrants. Mass surveillance bypasses all of that. It's simply lazy policing with a dangerous precedent. History warns us clearly. Every authoritarian regime began with reasonable surveillance for safety and order. The Stasi, the KGB, the surveillance states of the 20th century started by tracking movements under the banner of security. We are not there yet, but every time we install another node in a permanent tracking network, we are moving closer. Technology makes it efficient. It does not make it constitutional. Efficiency is not a valid substitute for liberty. Data breaches, mission creep, and abuse are not hypothetical. Government databases get hacked, leaked, or quietly repurposed for political targeting, asset forfeiture, fishing expeditions, or simply because someone in power finds your travel patterns inconvenient at the time. Once built, this infrastructure will be expanded. Today it's license plates, tomorrow's facial recognition, phone tracking, and pre-crime analytics. We should not trade essential liberty for temporary safety, as Franklin warned us. We were promised limited government, not omnipresent government. Our county should prioritize real deterrence, swift prosecution, adequate deputies, community vigilance, not outsourcing our freedoms to private surveillance vendors who profit from fear. True public safety flows from a free, self-reliant, and rights-respecting people, not from turning our roads into a surveillance state. I ask you to vote against flock cameras, defend the Constitution here at home. Tell the federal government and the surveillance industry that in this county, the Bill of Rights still means something. Our children and our grandchildren deserve to inherit the same freedom our forefathers secured, not a softer, more efficient version of tyranny. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hey, my name is, can you hear me? Hi. My name is Matt Foster. I am the flock representative in the room that everybody keeps referencing. Just wanted to, I know I didn't explain a whole lot of how this works, where everything goes and all of that last time I was here a couple weeks ago, so wanted to just clear the air a little bit on some of that. Yes, these are license plate readers. They take a still image of a vehicle and they have the technology to be able to read that license plate. So when we talk about the data and where does the data go, that is the data. There's no personal identifiable information. It does not say John Smith at 123 Main Street is that vehicle. All it says is this is the vehicle, this is the license plate, and it helps law enforcement with their investigations, or if somebody just went through, did a bunch of homicides in Putnam County and they came into your county, you would want your SO office to know, hey, they came into our county. That's what it's for. There's not, let me see here. Some of the mass surveillance, some of the other stuff, we do not do any biometrics, we do not do any facial recognition, we do not track anybody outside of that image of when they pass that device. We do not sell any data. We are not associated at all with Palantir. Yeah, a lot of misinformation out there because Flock has become the Kleenex of LPRs, where some of the other companies that are competitors do those kind of things with some of their other suite of products, but Flock is lumped into a lot of that. So, also hear a lot about Fourth Amendment and that information. Well, you could go check, there's plenty of them that rule in our favor that we do not violate any Fourth Amendment laws, especially Virginia, they're all over the place, you can go look them up. But when we talk about data, that's all it is that image. It's purged after 30 days. It stays on Amazon Web Services, GovCloud, the C2 compliant, SOC 2 compliant, any and all of that. It's their government servers. It's erased after 30 days for all those images. Now, there's always an indefinite audit trail that is the offices, Sheriff's Office, Police Department, whoever it is. They have complete audit logs. You have to put in a reason of why you're searching. You cannot just search information. You have to put a reason, and all of that is audited by that specific user indefinitely for any type of audit or compliance or, potential misuse kind of things. So that's all the information that's there, and I'm happy to explain a little bit more if I need to, but when it comes, I think, I'll mention this as well. So last time we also talked a little bit about sharing across other departments and networks and private companies. Yes, a private company can purchase Flock. If you go to Home Depot or Lowe's, you're also getting pinged, so stop going there then too. But they can share with the law enforcement. Law enforcement does not share with any communities or private businesses. They can only share within other departments or sheriff's offices, and they have to approve on both sides. One has to request, one has to allow. If they do not, nobody gets to see that information, and again, that's purged after 30 days. So that's where all the information goes. That's all the information that's associated with these license plate readers, and there's a lot of misinformation, and that's all it is. So,
thank you. Would any of the commissioners like to ask any questions of Mr. Coster? Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Hillary Huddleston. I live in White County. I just wanted to say that there are settlements with Flock where cities have paid. The biggest one being in Toledo, Ohio. Flock camera misread a license plate as a stolen vehicle, and the city paid out for that. And there are a couple of open cases as well. So it's not as cut and dry as the Flock representative made it sound. There are open cases against the Fourth Amendment right, and while there have been some rulings, those can still be drawn to question, and there are open cases. So I just thought I'd bring it.
Thank you. Sheriff Page, in your opening statement, you said that if you didn't feel like the citizens were convinced, you would request to pull the commissions. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So I will move on to the regular agenda. Okay, so we'll need to grab All right, I'll call the meeting to order. We will start with prayer, and Road Superintendent Jerry Sawyer is going to lead us in prayer, and then followed by pledge. Please stand.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to serve, grant us wisdom, discernment, and unity as we make decisions for the good of our county and its citizens. God, our hearts and minds, and all we do today. In ask your name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call. All right, tally. All right, we have 11 present and 3 absent. We do have a quorum. Before I go into the spread of minutes, I've got a little bit of change of the agenda. So speaking to our representative at the state, because we have a commissioner that has vacated his seat, he has left the state. That constitutes a vacation of the seat, so that because of that, he didn't not just show up or just resign. That actually changes our quorum numbers. So our quorum tonight will be 13 commissioners, which will change the full court vote to pass something from 8 down to 7. And that was Commissioner Cranford, and I'm going to read his letter. It says, I'm submitting my letter of resignation to the office of the County Commission of District 2 in White County due to recent events and unable to fulfill my commitment to my duties. Please accept my apology, and it was not my intent for this to happen. I was prepared to complete my term and assist anyone that wanted to run for my vacant seat. Unfortunately, personal health reasons and other opportunities have diminished my ability to give each of my constituents and fellow commissioners the respect and access that they need. I'm so very proud of all that was accomplished while in office, and I take very much with me. While in office, we were able to increase funding to emergency services and county employees. We stopped the bleeding that was the landfill and instead opened up opportunities for White County to receive millions over the next several years. We as a group failed in issues such as the new Justice Center or expansion, and more importantly, we failed to resolve the animal shelter that remains a huge mountain to climb for our citizens. I leave the office with positive attitude and the best wishes for White County. All right, so we don't have to vote on it because it was a vacate. He vacated the seat. So next on the agenda, number 5, it's the approval of spread of minutes, and because we did not have a quorum in May, this is a spread of minutes for May and June. I'll entertain a motion. So this is the spread of minutes. So I have a motion by Commissioner Golden and a second by Commissioner Selby. Is there any discussion? All right, please vote. This is saying, okay, I'm sorry. She has, I apologize. This was in the agenda for his letter to be voted on, so I apologize. We're voting on his letter, not the spread of minutes. I'm sorry.
Just putting that in the minutes, basically, right?
Yeah.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
All right, please tally. 11 yes, 3 absent, it carries. Now, on to the spread of minutes from the consent calendar. Okay. Motion by Commissioner Golden, second by Commissioner Austin. Any discussion? All right, please vote. Anyone like to change their vote? All right, please tally. 11 yes, 3 absent, and motion carries. Okay, so Next on the agenda, we have several resolutions that come out of the Budget Committee. All the commissioners have had time to review those. So what we will do is we will go through each of these one by one to be voted on. The first one is Resolution 1805-2026. It's Solid Waste Sanitation Fund Amendment. And that is, the first several amendments are just cleaning up the agenda, or cleaning up the budget of the current year budget. When we start talking about next year's budget, I'll make a clarification on that. But this is just moving money within funds to clean up the current year budget. The first one is a sanitation fund, solid waste sanitation, and it's for $75,000. I would entertain a motion. We have a motion by Mr. McCormick and a second by Mr. Rogers. Any discussion? All right, please vote.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
Please tally. 11 yes, 3 absent, motion carries. Second, Resolution 19-05-2026. It's a drug control fund, and this is for $20,000 for drug enforcement. Entertain a motion. We have a motion by Commissioner Mason, second by Commissioner Austin. Discussion? All right, please vote. All right. Anyone like to change their vote?
No.
We're not, I'm sorry.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
All right, please tally. All right, 11 yes, motion carries. D, Resolution 22-05-2026 is General Purpose School Fund Amendment. No, that's right.
Highway.
Well, it says on my agenda, I'm sorry. So Highway Public Works Fund is 20-05-2026, is that correct? Okay. That is Highway Fund Amendment. It is moving funds from unassigned fund balance to cover operational expenses for the Highway Department of $166,000. I have a motion, a second. Any discussion? Please vote.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
Please tally. 11 yes, 3 absent. Motion carries. Now we go to the Resolution 22-5.
21.
Yeah, apparently we
Have a-
Like, are we going missing around?
They rescinded 21.
Okay.
apparently, we,
No, that was me.
well, left 21 off the agenda.
Well,
It's in the
21,
package.
so 2021 was for the $6,000 for the Parks and Recreation supply.
Oh, roger that, got it.
And that was pulled from the agenda. So, okay. So can you, are you on 22? We're on 22 now, okay.
It'd be nice.
I'm sorry?
I said if you let somebody know, it'd be nice, that's all I said.
It was discussed in the, you're talking about the 21, the 6,000, we discussed it.
It's still on the agenda.
Okay, it's not on the agenda I have, I apologize, I'm sorry.
That's on the one I have that actually emailed.
Okay.
Sorry.
Resolution 22-05-2026, this is the General Purpose School Fund. There were several things in the General Purpose School Fund. You guys have that list. I'll entertain a motion. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, please vote.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
All right, 11 yes, 3 absent, motion carries. Okay. So, we have 23, to amend fiscal year 2026 general fund. Again, there's several items on this agenda. You guys had that to review. I'll entertain a motion. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
Please tally. All right, 11 yes, 3 absent.
Chair, can we hear the amount for these items?
So we have, the general fund, so we have a courtroom security fund, so we removed $56,680 from restricted for administration of justice for courtroom security, and that was allocated to other salaries and wages, Social Security, state retirement, employee Medicare, and other supplies, $56,680. The second part of that is to appropriate Tennessee Highway Safety grant funds received in excess of the original fiscal year 2026 budget. That was a law enforcement grant of $20,000 and an additional $3,000 in his unassigned fund balance for a total of $23,144. That is traffic control overtime, Social Security, state retirement, and employee Medicare, so that's to pay for salaries. That was what was in that specific one. Next, we have 2026 general fund amendment. Okay, so this one is to amend the general fund. This is specifically to the Sheriff's Department. So Section 1, we have debiting the Sheriff's Department Deputies Fund, $168,000. Sheriff's Department part-time personnel, $10,000. And the Jail Guard Fund, $100,000. And jail maintenance personnel, $3,000. That money is going to Sheriff's Department supervision directors, $10,000, clerical personnel for $1,000, overtime pay $215,000, other salaries and wages for $5,000, overtime pay $50,000. So that particular amendment was $281,000. All of these are within the particular funds of the departments. We're just moving money to allocate the funds that have already been appropriated where they need to go. Section 2, to receive funds from Tennessee Law Enforcement Hiring and Training. This is a grant, so other public safety grant was $30,000. We had to add additional $4,671 from his unassigned fund balance. This went to $30,000 for salary supplements, and then Social Security, state retirement, employee medical. The total of that was $34,671. The Section 3 of this is appropriate funding for anticipated fuel cost. We moved $52,500 from unassigned fund balance, $20,000 to the Sheriff's Department Gasoline Fund, $10,000 to the Fire Prevention and Control Diesel Fund. Ambulance EMS diesel fund was $20,000. Central Maintenance diesel fund was $2,500. So there again, that was a total of $52,500. Section 4, to appropriate funding as anticipated employee medical insurance cost. This was $82,000. It was an unassigned fund balance. It was going to medical insurance for court building, courthouse, sheriff's department, jail, ambulance, EMS, library, and central maintenance, just to cover medical insurance. Section 5, to appropriate funding for anticipated outside medical expenses for inmates. That was $150,000. Unassigned fund balance, it's going to $150,000 for potential medical claims to finish out the rest of the year where we have to pay for inmates' medical care. Number 6 of this section, appropriate additional Tennessee Department of Health grant funding awards. So there was a health department program for $31,200. That money was allocated to the local health center, other salaries and wages for $21,000, and then the Social Security, state retirement, employee medical associated with that, and also $4,000 for travel expense. Section 7, to appropriate EMS training supplement received from the state in excess of the original budget amount. So there was a emergency medical service training program, received $4,000, and then we had to supplement $623 unassigned fund balance. The $4,000 went to salaries, the $623 went to cover the Social Security, retirement, and Medicare. Section 8, to appropriate funding for the current fiscal year to continue compensate for a prior fiscal year quarterly payment the University of Tennessee missed during an annual expense accrual. Unassigned fund balance $22,500. The Agriculture Extension Service salary supplements $14,425. Other fringe benefits $45.75, and maintenance agreement $3,500. Number 9, to appropriate additional funds required for vehicle and heavy equipment parts, service, oil expenditures in excess of original budget for central maintenance. This was $145,000 from unassigned fund balance. It goes to other contracted services for $20,000, to purchase equipment and machinery parts, $110,000, and lubrication, $15,000. Section 10, to adjust the trustees' commission revenue and expenditures amount to reflect estimates. This is a $30,000 debit from the trustee and a $30,000 credit to the trustees' commission. Section 11, to appropriate additional funds required for maintenance excess of various county building incurred and anticipated to be incurred during the current fiscal year. $55,000 for unassigned fund balance, $10,000 is going to maintenance and repairs from buildings, contracted service $5,000, other supplies and material $5,000, vehicle and equipment insurance $5,000, and building improvements $30,000 for a total of $55,000. Sections 12, to appropriate funds required to pay bank fees incurred during the fiscal year. So this is a $10,000 unassigned fund balance. This goes to the county trustee's office for bank fees. That's, I said, is $10,000. And to give a little explanation on why we're paying $10,000 in bank fees, we changed bank accounts this year where we will receive a higher interest rate on our money that's in the fund. So with that, the bank charges us bank fees, but the $10,000 bank fees was a very small amount compared to what the interest that we are earning from the previous account to the new account. Number 13, to appropriate funding for the Roland Sawmill site improvement. So we have restricted for general government $7,128. So those funds right there were donated, were raised by the community, and they were donated to the county for this fund, so that's why they're in restricted funds. Unassigned fund balance, $27,872. So for a total of $35,000. And what this is for is preservation of records and site development. The majority of that money, $22,000 or $23,000, is for a building to go over that, and the difference in that is for potential expenses for tearing down and removal of the existing building that's there. Section 14, appropriate the remaining funds for the Broadband Ready Community Grant. This is a $36,000 grant, and it's going into other economic and community, other supplies and materials for $36,000. Section 15, to appropriate funding for the purchase of LPR cameras. So this money, there's $34,000 being allocated from sales of equipment. So what that is for is when we've had sheriff sales selling vehicles, equipment, and so forth, that is where that fund is coming from. And then assistance from forfeited funds, that's where they've had seizures. The police has seized these money and things, then they've captured that money, $13,856. That is going to the Sheriff's Department Law Enforcement Equipment Fund to purchase the LPRs, the flock cameras, $47,856. And that is the final resolution for that. So we have heard from the sheriff, we've heard from Flock, and we have heard from the citizens. Is there any discussion on making any changes to this resolution?
You have a request to speak.
Before we go through all that again, can they look it up on the website? Or they have it somewhere they can look all that up?
It's,
Yeah, they tell them that, so we want to do that again. Some people can say they're all night long.
all right, I have a request to speak from Commissioner Austin.
Well, I don't know about, actually, I guess I'm wanting to amend, to make an amendment, instead of
approving?
I can't get mine to cancel and I can't make an amendment. Huh?
Yeah, you can hit motion to amend.
Oh, okay, did it? Okay. All right, what I would like is I would like to strike section 15 and put it back to be reappropriated for something different other than the license plate reader. Just put it back to the sheriff's budget, and strike the approval to fund the license plate reader.
Yay.
Okay, so we have a motion to remove section 15 and enter it back into the sheriff's budget. Is that a motion by White and a second by Mason? Is that?
That was the original.
That was the original, okay. So we have so the motion was made by Commissioner Austin and that was seconded by Commissioner McCormick, correct? Okay. Any discussion before we vote on this topic?
And this will be a yes vote to pull it from the...
This will be a motion to amend and remove the flock cameras from Resolution 260626. Okay, please vote. Okay, the votes are locked.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
Please tally. 8 yes, 3 no, 3 absent, and the motion passes. So now we will go back to Resolution 260626 as amended. No. Okay, so now we have Resolution 260626 as amended. And we have a motion and a second that stands. Any further discussion? Please vote.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
Please tally. 11 yes, 3 absent. Motion carries. Okay, so now we have 27, Solid Waste Sanitation Amendment. Resolution to amend fiscal year 2026 solid waste sanitation fund. This is site development, $42,168. It's going into $15,000 to attendance, employees, then Social Security, employee Medicare, and so forth and so on, for a total of $42,168. I'll entertain a motion for Resolution 27. Motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
Eleven yes, 3 absent. Motion carries. Resolution 28. This is drug enforcement. Other supplies and material, $8,000. Confidential drug enforcement, $5,000. Animal food and supplies, $1,000. Law enforcement equipment, $6,000. For a total credit to the unassigned fund balance of $20,000. A motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
11 yes, 3 absent, motion carries. We have Resolution 29. This is for the Highway Public Works Fund. We are moving $102,500 out of unassigned fund balance, $24,000 out of administration, other salaries and wages, and we're moving those funds for $60,000 to the highway bridge maintenance asphalt, $50,000 for gravel, $15,000 for other supplies and material, and then we have to have $1,500 to the trustees commission for that. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, please vote.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
Eleven yes, motion carries. I'm sorry. Resolution 30 to amend the general purpose school fund. We've got $92,000 being removed from the operation of plant natural gas and $20,000 out of the engineering services. Those are going into an assortment of items. It's a total of $112,000. We've got state retirement, other salaries and wages is just being moved amongst that major category. Section 2, other direct federal revenues, $150,000. That's a USDA grant there, and it's going into other equipment for $150,000. Section 3, state education funding, $484,469. There's about 50 things that money's been allocated to, the $400,000. Section 4, to appropriate additional high-performance LEA bonus funding received from the state. So we have state educational funds of $392,857 and an additional unassigned fund balance of $93,260. This is going to other salaries and wages for $288,000, and then the Social Security, retirement, Medicare, and so forth for a total of $486,117. And Section 5, to appropriate additional funds on medical insurance expenses, unassigned fund balance $150,000, and that's being allocated to medical insurance for them. I'll entertain a motion in a second. Please vote.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
11 yes, motion carries. So now we have 31. This is the Central Cafeteria Fund. We have $135,000 in unassigned fund balance, and we have $100,000 in USDA other funds and $75,000 in USDA commodities for a total of $310,135, and those are being spread out over cafeteria personnel, then Social Security, medical retirement, food supplies, other office supplies, data processing, and food service equipment, for a total of $310,000. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
Motion carries, 11 yes. We are to 32, School Federal Project Fund. To amend the School Federal Project Fund, this is assignment for education of $2 million, and it's been transferred out to the, transfer to other funds. This is made in a yearly advance and is basically an estimate of revenues and expenditures that will be available and required for that year. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, please vote.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
11 yes, 3 absent, motion carries. Okay. Resolution 33, this is the resolution to fix the tax levy for the 2027 budget. So as it's laid out, we have $1.06 in the general fund. We're allocating 2 cents to the Highway Public Works Fund, and we're allocating 33 cents to the General Purpose School Fund. That is a total of 141 cents, which is, this is the current tax rate that we have, $1.41, and this will keep the same tax rate at $1.41. All right, we have a motion to amend.
I would like to amend the, that we, due to the $6 million that we've got, we dropped the certified tax rate to, from 1.41 to 1.01, which will be about $4 million, which that'll still leave $2 million for other things to be done. But that'll be giving money back to the residents of White County. And that's.
You got a motion to amend, do you have a second?
So he's made the motion to amend, but he had to finish stating what his amendment was. So
My computer's still stuck on the.
Yeah, they're stuck. There we go.
It's because I was.
Okay, so motion to amend, and so we're voting on the amendment to change the tax rate from $1.41 to $1.01. We have a motion and a second. We have 2 requests to speak. I'll recognize Commissioner Golden first. She was the first request.
So I've read the email that we got regarding the $6 million, which we got it Thursday evening. I can't count on 2 hands. I'd have to have more. How many times I asked about using waste management money for projects. Every time I got told, no, that's not money that's reliable, that's not money we have, that's not money you can count on. So is there somewhere in there that I might have missed that this is a guaranteed $6 million every single time? No.
It's a one-time, it is a one-time alone.
One-time thing. I don't agree with dropping the tax rate one time because we're going to have needs. We have roads, we have EMS, we have Sheriff's Department, we have everything else. And if we drop this tax rate one time, and that is going to be one time, and then go right back up, There's just something going on with it, and I'm just saying I'm not on board with it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you. Commissioner Goff?
I sat on budget 4 years. I was the chairman once. Every single year, we turn away departments that desperately need items. We're talking about covering deficits. Here's the funds. We're talking about increasing the debt service. Here's the funds. This is nothing but a sabotage of the next administration. One-time funds to drop property tax 28%, knowing that next year we will have to do the largest hike in White County history. Not only will I vote no to this, I may vote no to everything for the next 2 months because I can't trust what happens for the next 2
Order to court. So, Executive Robinson's made a request to speak. Yes.
All right, I want to address this funding issue. The chair or the county commission always has and will always will have the checkbook. They will decide who gets what and what the tax rate is. We have been asked for a couple of years now, where is the waste management money? Where is it at? Well, I got an email just right before the last budget meeting saying that it looked like that we was going to get around $6 million. I didn't bring it up in the budget meeting because I didn't have it confirmed. I got confirmation on it and I sent the email out. This was an investment by the taxpayers. I feel the taxpayers should get some relief from this money. This was taxpayer money used to generate this revenue. The statement was made this was a one-time deal. It's not really a one-time deal. This money is going to be coming in, but it's not going to be coming in annually, every year. This is something that's going to have to be done. I just think that the people, the taxpayers that invested in this landfill needs to get some of the return. Don't have to be all of it. I think they need to get some of it, though. I think there needs to be a lowering the tax rate of some amount to show, to give that money back to the taxpayer who has funded all this from day one. The revenue that we get from the landfill, there's 3 ways we get revenue from this. The number one was the sale of the property. That was a one-time deal. We got that money. The second is host fees. This does not include any of the host fees. That comes in yearly, annually. The third way that we get revenue is from airspace, which we refer to as success fees. We sell volume. We sell the space where the trash is going to be going, the solid waste is going to be going. That is what this money is. This money will come in periodically throughout the next 20 years. This time it happens to be about $6 million that's going to be coming in this budget year. And again, my thought process, y'all make the decisions. For full transparency, I want y'all to know that money's there. That money has came in. That money's going to be in this budget that's coming up. That money's going to be there. Y'all have to decide what you want to do with it. My recommendation would be to give some of it back to the taxpayers, to cut them a break, because we had a little bit of an increase last year. But again, it's up to y'all. It's up to y'all to vote. Up to y'all to decide. Will next year you get $6 million again? Probably not. We didn't expect to get it this year, so it's hard to say. But that's where this money came from. That's how this money's here. It's not intended to sabotage anybody. It's intended to give back if y'all deem it appropriate to do that, to give back to the taxpayer. Thank you.
All right. Recognize Commissioner Brewington to speak.
So, I just want to make just a comment right there is, why come every time, and I'm talking to the 14th commissioner, not to the public right there, why come every time we get money or get money coming in, we've got to spend it? Every time we get money, we've got to spend it on something. It don't make no sense. That's all my 2 cents on it right there.
Thank you. Commissioner Mason. I've got you as recognized to speak.
The only comment I wanted to make was, I said earlier,
I'm one of the 9, there's 9 of us that are not returning. This is an election year. 9 of us are vacating this commission, and there's gonna be at least 9 new commissioners and maybe more, depending on the election results, and a new county executive. In my personal opinion, it feels irresponsible to make a decision that affects something this big on the way out and set the next group up for trouble. If this money is there right now, we got $12 million in reserve right now. I mean, if we got 6 more coming, great. Then this new commission, let them put their heads together and figure out where we're at next year with the tax rate and the budget. It just feels irresponsible. For me personally, I don't want to make that decision for whoever's coming in to be your counterpart in District 6. I'd rather you guys have the ability to do that than me make this decision now and then mess it up on the way out.
Thank you. Commissioner Austin?
I just wanted to say that, we sat up here and we talked about having to raise taxes to get the stuff that we wanted. Everybody was, all of this same bunch back here clapping was ones that thinking that we should not raise the tax. Don't raise the tax. And now then that we're being able to lower the tax, the same bunch is, oh, don't do that. Don't lower the tax. That'll make it hard on us.
Triple it next year.
Order in the court, guys. Please don't speak.
I just wanted to go on record, if I can help the community by lowering the tax this year, then I'm all for lowering the tax to help the people this year.
Thank you. So I'll add my 2 cents on the topic as well. We've been struggling since I've been here to find funding for specialized things. We know the animal shelter is part of this $6 million deal. The animal shelter is going to have to be moved in the next 8 years. We have to find a place for the animal shelter. I constantly talk about the fire department, emergency services. Our fire trucks are 20, 30 years old. Those are one-time expenditures. The animal shelter, to build and move, is a one-time expenditure. The highway department, we're always talking about roads. That's one-time expenditures. I personally think we need to invest in the Parks and Recreation Department and have more things down there. But as been stated, most of the commissioners are going to be gone in 60 days. I think it would be wrong of us to try to spend the $6 million in the next 60 days. We need the new commission, the group, to come in and sit down and have a talk about this. So I also agree that we need to be responsible with this money and hold on to it and not spend it. I mean, $6 million in savings over the course of 2 or 3 years interest alone would pay to buy a fire truck or build a animal shelter just in itself. So I will move for a motion to vote on the amendment to reduce. This is a yes to change the tax rate to $1.01. Vote yes.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
We have 3 yes, 8 no, 3 absent, so it failed for lack of majority. So we are back to the original resolution 3306-2026 of keeping the property tax rate the same at $1.41. Keeping it the same. So we have a request to speak from Golden and no, that's the old one. Okay, I'm sorry.
She has to raise the other. I have a motion to amend.
This tablets are a little slow.
She
It's saying, it's asking her to withdraw the original motion.
To amend the resolution.
To amend the resolution, that might be to.
If I hit what?
What are they saying?
There you go. Now you're back to your original motion,
You
Mr.
should be
Chairman.
back, yeah.
It should, we're trying to make sure that,
Okay.
that's what comes, that we have back up. So we're back to the original motion of $1.41. And we have a motion and a second already confirmed. Any other discussion?
I'm trying to.
You want to make
Are you
a,
wanting to make a?
Okay, I'm sorry.
I thought that was from previous.
I would like to amend the motion, or amend the motion to lower the tax rate from 1.41 to 1.21.
Yes.
That'll leave $4 million for the, everybody gets.
so we have a motion by Commissioner Austin, a second by Commissioner Selby. Any discussion on this before we vote?
I would like to say, we didn't have the money last year. We had to up property taxes, and we caught a lot of flack for that. So now the money's here. So why not at least lower it back down somewhere where it was before we had to raise it from the certified tax rate?
Me personally, speaking to that, I've always been taught since day one, do not take reoccurring money and do not take individual income, single income lines and spend it on reoccurring expenses because it won't stand up. So everything we're spending this on is reoccurring expenses, and this is a one-time money. Even if we lower the tax rate 20 cents and it's $2 million, and all $6 million is earmarked for that, then we still only have it for 3 years.
Where do you think that $6 million is going to go if it's in there?
Well, I feel like the next commission,
It'll be gone.
It'll be gone.
it's very possible that it could.
Never see any.
All right, let's vote. This is a vote for $1.21.
Would anyone like to change their vote? I want to go home.
Please tally. 3 yes, 8 no. Motion fails. So we, again, are back to passing $1.41, the original resolution. Please vote. Please vote.
Anyone like to change their vote?
Please tally. 8 yes, 3 no, motion carries. Okay, so now we move to Resolution 34-06, 2026. This is the appropriations resolution. So within this resolution is where we appropriate all of the funds for the departments. In a previous resolution, we failed to fund the flock cameras as a purchase. So the flock cameras are no longer purchased. So in this resolution, we have $44,000 from the Sheriff's Department Fund 54 110, to allocate funding for year 2 of this. So I would entertain a motion to amend the resolution for the Sheriff's Department fund from $4,425,095 to $4,381,095 to remove the $44,000 for the appropriation of the flock cameras. I mean, I've not made the motion, I'm asking if that would want to be done. If it's, the money's not funding the flock cameras, and it's a line item to fund it.
It still have to come through appropriations at the appropriate time when the subscription was paid anyway, right?
It would, but we've had discussion and concern about passing a $389,000 deficit budget. That would bring the deficit down. I know that's been some concern by other people, it's been voiced. So it would bring our deficit that we passed down by $44,000. But full transparency, if nobody's making a motion, then we'll move to.
I tried to make an amendment.
Well, I had a motion, okay, I made a motion.
Okay.
Let's make an amendment.
So we would have to, so you've made a motion to amend that, Commissioner Rogers?
I motion to amend to remove the funds from that category and put in Fund 54106, deputies. And if Sheriff wants to come and try to get a budget amendment for such later on, he can.
Okay.
So I need to remove funds from.
So it would be removing funds from 54110 and placing those funds in the 54106 deputies, is the Commissioner Rogers' request. Is that not what you mean?
Yes.
54106 isn't the valley code.
Okay.
Or 50, is it?
106, you're trying to move within the line item, but just leave it at 541.
Okay.
You're fine.
He's requesting for it to go into, to stay in the Sheriff's Department fund, but be allocated to deputies' pay? Is that salaries?
That's a budget committee item.
Okay. So it has to be allocated through the budget committee, so does he need to change the wording of that?
You guys just keep it in the same major category, so.
Okay.
Okay. Same major category.
So then there's no amendment. Then there will be no amendment to be made because the money's going to stay there.
Okay, never mind. I will draw that amendment.
Okay.
You got a request to speak whenever I was going there.
Okay.
Okay, I have a motion to amend.
Okay, now we have a different motion to amend by TK, Commissioner Austin.
Okay. I want to amend to pull the 44,000 from the line item in the Sheriff's Department and put that toward the deficit.
So your request is to totally remove the funding.
Just totally.
Did totally remove it from the.
Would take it off.
Would take it off of the estimate. It was to be
You have an
totally,
amendment already up there, don't you, that we have to vote on first?
no, he struck, Commissioner, he struck his,
So just pull it from this year.
to remove it, to move it from the fund for the allocation of the funds for the entire year.
Let her sort it out.
It's actually sorted out. Thanks. Okay, see if that's correct. I think I got it.
Amend the resolution to pull 44,000 from the Sheriff's Department for the year, which would remove it from the budget. So we have a motion, Commissioner McCormick, second. We have a request to speak from Commissioner Rogers.
Yes, I would ask the commission to reconsider this, to vote down this amendment and to leave the funds in the sheriff's budget.
Okay, thank you. So, all I will speak on to that topic, understand what you're anticipating those funds to be allocated to the sheriff's department for potential deputy pay or additional outside of this, which has to be allocated from the budget committee. But with that said, with your intention specifically, that would change the maintenance of effort for the funding of the sheriff's department. I'm not saying that's good or bad, I'm just saying that would change the funding of the sheriff's department, maintenance of effort, because employee pay is, where this is not maintenance of effort for that, just to clarify. Any other discussion before we vote on this particular
So
topic?
what we're voting on is this right here.
This is to remove 44,000 from the budget that would,
Because y'all trying to trick me or something.
So we're moving it from the sheriff's department.
that's it, completely gone. It would take our deficit from 389 to 350 or something, whatever that number would be. All right, please vote.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
3 yes, 8 no. Motion fails.
Same thing.
So, we are back to the original 3306-2026 to fund 3406, I'm sorry. The original budget for $42,109,671.
So we're voting.
You had a motion and a second on the original, didn't you?
We have a motion and a second on this is the original.
Do we want to keep that?
They're not rescinding them, so. Any discussion before we vote now? Are we clear on what we're voting on?
So let me ask you a question real quick. So on this amendment right here, the whole amendment right here is this the 3% raise for all the employees?
Yes.
Am I correct right here? So does the Parks and Recs get a 3% raise even though he's getting a grant for 3 years? He does get a 3% raise on top of that grant?
The employees,
Yeah,
it's
the employees,
the
yes.
county and the county general employees.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. But if I vote no, I'm with the good old boy, so I'm just hard rock, yeah. Go ahead. I'll make a motion to amend that.
Kane, are you one of the motion is in?
Yes, so my intent is to remove that from that particular line item and for it to remain in the sheriff's department's budget. And if he wants to later, is that doable with this amendment?
All you gotta do is vote on it as it was presented to you, and that'll get it.
As original?
All we have to do is vote on it as originally in here, right? So the 44,000 is in his budget.
Yeah.
Okay? It can't be allocated for flock cameras because there's no flock cameras to allocate for now that last year was removed. So that, we had a motion to remove the money from the budget and that failed, so that money now is staying in the sheriff's department line item for that. Now we have a request to amend from Commissioner Brewington.
Yeah, I just don't feel like that's right there, it's because the 3 years he gets grant money, and that grant money's paying for his salary. And you're telling me that we're gonna give him a 3% raise on top of that for being a county employee? There's something wrong with that.
So we're gonna hold up a $42 million budget over $5,000? Or I don't know what the number is, but I mean, it's a very small amount of money.
15.
15,000, we're gonna hold up a $42 million budget over $15,000 amendment for one employee? 1,500. I'm sorry, I don't have the numbers, I wasn't looking at them.
That's how everything gets.
So $1,500 over a $42 million budget. We've had a lot of back and forth, and I mean, if you wanna make the motion, we'll entertain it, Commissioner.
Just leave it alone, just like anything else, just leave it alone.
Please vote. On the,
Not a second yet.
Yeah, I've got to have a second.
we had a,
He's got a motion to amend, you don't have a second.
okay,
If you don't get a second, then you go back to the original.
Go back.
okay.
Let us know when you get back.
City Bowling Region. Yeah.
I mean, I still don't agree with $196,000 budget for Parks and Rec,
You can't
but when you bring it up,
remove it because this,
you know, I guess here, I'll second it, we'll vote on it, we can go on.
she's got it typed in.
Oh, come on. These tablets got to go. All right, well, this is, I just throw my window.
Okay, I've got a motion and a second.
It says, it's got motion to amend at the top over here. Please quiet in the courtroom, please.
Can we just take it back to 3406?
Yes. Yes.
Back to original budget. Thank you, Sasha. You're welcome.
Screen that caught it yet.
Back to original budget. All right, please vote.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
10 yes, 1 no, motion carries. Okay. Resolution 3506, 2026. This is the non-profit resolution. So we have already funded the tax resolution and appropriation. This is just the secondary to notice the nonprofits that we are funding. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Hang on.
I think.
No, we're behind or something here.
It's still pulling up that 3406. Can we vote on it again?
Okay.
You should be able to go to the next resolution.
Will it let you go to the next, or does it show voted?
It's making me vote on that one.
Okay, please, enter your vote again, please.
This is the same, look, this is the
Same.
same vote we just took. We're going to do it again. It's the same vote we just took.
Because we had.
I said we need to make a motion to do away with this junk.
Please, order in the courtroom.
The same.
Is this the budget?
Oh,
This
the
is-
nonprofits.
No, this is the appropriations. It's 34, it's the appropriations again. Because of the amendment, it got
All right.
messed up.
In order to get the system to release it, we got to do it.
10 yes, 1 no, same carries. Now we should be to 35.
Yes.
Okay. Appropriations of the non-profit resolution. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I got second by Commissioner Golden is what it shows on my screen now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, mine says something's not right and I can't connect.
It's because my computer.
Well, does that mean I can go home? You're close.
Can we proceed on roll call now? Oh, my battery's about dead too.
And Robert said he had never voted on it. Oh, mine didn't get there.
You should be able to reconnect. Is it giving y'all the option to reconnect now? Please quiet in the courtroom. Okay, we have a motion and a second for the nonprofits for Resolution 35. Any other discussion? Please vote.
What are we back on nonprofit?
Would anyone like to change their vote?
Please tally. 11 yes, it passes. Okay. Resolution from the nominating committee. We have Resolution 2405-2026. This is for the beer board appointment. We have a motion, Commissioner Rogers, second by Commissioner Brewington. Any discussion? Please vote.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
11 yes, motion carries. Resolution from Steering Committee B, Resolution 2505-2026. It is for the surplus of property. It's a Sheriff's Department vehicle. We have a commission and a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
Please tally. 11 yes, motion carries. B, Resolution 36-2026 surplus of property. This is another Sheriff's Department vehicle to be surplused. Motion and second, discussion. Please vote.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
All right, 11 yes, motion carries. Resolution appointing members to the Activity Center. This is Resolution 37-06-2026. It's appointing 2 members to the Sparta White County Activity Center board members. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote.
Would anyone like to change their vote?
11 yes, motion carries. Okay. Number 10 on the consent calendar, we have notaries.
I have Sherry Anderson, Amy Cash, George Elrod, Susan Hibbs, Christy Howe, Amy Limpinski, Brittany Rittenberry, Angel Rivera, Miranda Rogan, and Jennifer Wheeler.
Okay. We can do a voice vote on this. That's correct. We have that as a voice vote. A motion to approve. Is it,
I have a second.
I'm sorry.
I have a motion.
Motion and a second. Okay. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Next on the agenda, the old business. Do we have any old business to bring before the commission? Hearing none, do we have any new business to bring before the commission? Hearing none. We already have the spread of minutes for the resignation of Commissioner Cranford, so next on the calendar will be recognition from audience members. Please come forward and you will be allowed 3 minutes to speak to the commission.
Hello, Commissioners. I have just a clarification question in regards to the flock and the reallocation of the funds. Are those funds able to be used for flock in the near future or not?
So they're not able to be because the original resolution that was on the budget amendment for this current year, the 2026 year, that failed. So that was to fund the original funding of the flock cameras.
Okay.
So they are not able to be funded unless, the sheriff will have to come make a request. It can't be funded within his budget that he has now. You have to make another request to do so.
So at another time, there can be a request to the commissioners to
Sure.
use the funds going forward. So the second question I have is the current flocks that are there, are they going to be removed? What happens with what is there currently? Because as I understand, there's at least 12 in use currently. That's the minimum number I know.
There are 12, yes.
They're in the city of Sparta too.
Well,
Not just county. City government runs flock cameras also.
Sparta, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
so this would only be the 12 in the county. The ones that the city have implemented
That's something else.
that's something separate.
Okay, great. So, does the county have any? Because I'm thinking there's 12.
There's 12.
Okay, so are they going to be removed?
We didn't fund them unless they're going to leave them up for free.
Okay, that's what I'd like, thank you very much. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm sorry, sir, what was your name? That's
Franco Colella.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address the commission? This is your moment to shine, Danny.
Oh, well. All right, Danny Blitz again. I missed some of what Franco was talking about. I want to make sure that I understood what you did. You took the money away, but then you gave a general idea of, you gave them the money to do with what they want, the $44,000, is that right?
Yeah. It's already in your budget.
Every penny that's spent comes before the budget committee each month. Like a department, they may have a budget and they may have line items. But before that money is actually spent, it has to come to the budget committee. And the budget committee either approves or rejects that proposal. If they approve it, then it gets sent to full court and we vote on it again. So just like, that's what we did in the beginning of the meeting. There was a resolution that was sent from the budget committee where the budget committee had approved funds to purchase the flock cameras. It got sent to full court as part of the 2026 budget, and that budget resolution failed. Okay, so those funds were not allocated. That money goes back into the general fund. Okay, if he has a budget of $4 million, if he decides that he needs whatever, new vest or whatever they need, he comes to the budget committee and there's a request for a budget allocation in X number of dollars for whatever it is that they need. Budget committee approves it, sends it back to full court, we vote on it again, and either approve it or deny it. So the line item that was in there was just, it was a plan, the budget that we just approved was a planning budget. Those funds still have to be approved by the full court before they're spent each fiscal year.
Okay. So we can ask that since you all voted against Flock, we said, no, we're not going to fund that, that the sheriff respects that and doesn't use those funds for Flock.
He can't. He can't unless he makes another request to the commission to fund the flock cameras.
Okay, okay. Okay, so what I came up to talk about is the AI structure. I wanted to fill in some folks who didn't go to the subcommittee meeting about where we are with the AI grid structures, which includes AI factories, AI data centers, the Bitcoin, the crypto mining, and yes, Flock is a part of that AI grid. So earlier during the subcommittee meeting, we did ask that, and then approved for the commissioners to look into what we can do to put obstacles up or just avoid this altogether. Since then, one of the things that Denny brought up was we really don't know what the state says we can and can't do, so we need to look into that. We're going to pass it on to the lawyer to look into that. And since then, we've learned that as long as we've passed the County Powers Act, which we have on June 22nd, 2020, we can do what we want with our own land. We can make that decision. And to that end, we will continue to encourage that we ban AI grid structures altogether, that we avoid any kind of problems that could come up. And we've got to do it with some urgency, because at any point, somebody can come in and buy, we could do some of those AI factory deals that Denny was talking about, and slip that under. And we just don't have the time to waste on this. So we're asking, since we have the power to ban them altogether, this is not zoning, this is not putting a restriction on anybody on what they can do with their land, the people that are here. We're saying you folks are just not allowed in this county. To that end, I've created a resolution. It is based on those that are successfully also banning AI grid structures in their own counties, and I've got a copy here for everybody to read. I've just got a few seconds left, so I'll just go in for the audience to let them know what some of the things are on this ban, and I will also post it. What does that mean? I'm past my time?
No,
Since it's
30 seconds.
Oh, okay. So it's a resolution approving and authorizing a ban on any AI structure connected to the grid in White County, whereas White County has identified the need to update the county's land use control regulations to address current and emergent technologies not yet covered by existing regulations, including but not limited to a use commonly referred to as data processing, data mining, centers, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin mining facilities, and so forth. And that's it. So anyway, I'm going to pass that out to you. Should I give it to you? I've got a folder filled with copies.
You can leave it with me and I'll pass it out.
Right, and then we'll ask when we do convene for the subcommittee meeting next month that you have a resolution to this. Give us some sort of a direction, because I know you feel more comfortable having your lawyer look at it. Give us some sort of a direction on you know, where you all are on this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So I'll add to what she said, and I would ask that, I think Ms. Blitz give us a quick update of where we're at. She spoke, and some of her fellow people have spoke about the AI data structures. We specifically have that listed on the agenda for the June the 6th meeting. I have done some, or July 6th, I'm sorry, July 6th meeting. So that's on the agenda for a topic for discussion. So I'll make sure I'll email you guys a copy of these so y'all have it for review. But I would ask, nothing tonight that we passed in the budget has anything to do with the AI, the data centers and so forth. I would just ask that we hold any other comments as far as that to the pertinent discussion for topic on July the 6th. If someone else would like to speak on a different topic.
Real quick. Commissioners, Joe Davis, I'll make it quick. It's funny, I don't care about the flock cameras. I don't know what they are, I ain't real familiar with them. But I look in the audience, I'm in the back row, there's 15 people with their phones taking videos of everybody. Isn't that about the same thing as flock? I mean, you're talking on YouTube in front of millions of people, Chinese-run company. That doesn't concern you, but a dadgum driving your car down the road?
Amen, sir.
Whew, that's scary. They're gonna take a still shot of my license plate. I don't want that, but I'll get up here and tell who I am, run my mouth, tell them where I live and everything else in front of God and everybody. And we're okay with that. I do not understand that. I don't know what flock is. Last time I seen my shot a bunch of them.
Thank you. Order in the court, please.
Matt Curzon, 10675 Ocean Tucky Road. Just want to say enemy of the state on the block cameras things, because stuff just goes up from there. But anyhow, when it comes to funding the animal shelter and funding possible restoration of the sawmill, do not put the buggy before the horse. Let's get it done right, because when the animal shelter was redone or had the back half put on, it is absolutely terrible. When it rains, it floods. It harbors bacteria. There's rats that come over from the dump. There's all kinds of stuff that ain't pretty. So when that comes to that point, if they could have a committee together of commissioners, staff, and citizens, I would appreciate that. And then on the sawmill, I did reach out to Tennessee Historic Society. I talked to Ethan Holden. He has no record of contacting anyone contacting him about the sawmill at all. He's more than happy to come out and take a look at it and see if that's something that can be placed on the registry based on the integrity of the building, if there's any way to bring it back. Because if there's no way to bring it back, I say we salvage what we can of it and put it in the museum, set up a park, set up ice cream shop, something that still preserves history with modern amenity. And then, is there a way, I don't know who can answer this one, where I could get info on citations for animal abuse and neglect? I'm not able to get a number, and I would like to, because I've had had talked 2 times about it, and neither one had a report on it, so nobody got cited or nothing. And then I also had a question about raise increases. Is this position-based when you guys are doing this, or is it somebody's that been here a year and year and year, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, a newcomer shouldn't just come and make with the old person, the last position holding that, position, there we go, mix. And that's where I get kind of confused, because everybody's getting a 3% raise, That Park Rex guy, he just got hired, he's already getting a 3% raise, he hasn't even been here a year. So we kind of, we're just going up and up and up. Common average people don't get a $1 raise. $1 an hour, I should say, not a dollar. $1 an hour raise, like the majority of what the county staff is. So that, I would like to know an answer on that one. And then I was trying to decipher for the budget where the grant money shows. Does he have to be in it for a year before they give us grant money or not? And then the last question was referring to the one I had earlier, which maybe Denny Wayne can answer it, the blanket asbestos permit. It's in our county's name. So somebody from our county had to request that. And I'm really curious about what that is, and it's like 3 miles from my house.
Somebody from the county, I probably talked to you after, I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, well,
Somebody
Waste
from our-
Management's name is not on there. It's our name. We sold the dump.
They're asking, I mean, is the permit, the White County pulled a permit, or White County is?
I have a picture of it. I screenshotted it. If you'd like to take a look at it. This is White County landfill. Special waste, active, May 19th, 2026. Blanket asbestos approval. And that was the date it was issued. If you go to the other thing with all the permits, Class 1, Class 2, that's all under Waste Management. We have White County landfill under the special waste. So I'm curious to know what that is if we're not really affiliated with
So
them.
what I would suggest is, says he's not familiar with it.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to show
We
him, you know,
can, we can place that on the solid waste agenda for July the 6th.
I appreciate
If
that.
you'll email that to us so we
The
can,
picture?
yeah, so we can research that.
What email am I using?
County executives, or you can use my email address.
Okay.
All of,
Okay. Yeah, well,
the pay question that you had,
Commissioner, like, address it to everybody, or?
the pay question you had about the 3% raise, we done a deep dive last year into specific pay for employees, and we made some separate allocations last year. We wanted to do more, but it wasn't in the budget to do. So yes, we made dollar amount changes last year, but this year a 3% raise is across the board for the general.
Again, so they got
Not-
a raise last year, and then they get another raise of 3% across the board again.
Right, that's basically a cost of living raise this year. It was
I'm saying
3%.
not everybody else in the county gets dollar raises, I mean, an hour raises, I mean.
Well, it's
or get dollars
3%, it
generally
depends
from
on
Walmart.
how the employee what the employee makes about, if it was, how much to raise, it was a 3% based on their pay. So I don't know.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Joe Hallams, y'all know me. I'll make it quick because we've been here a while tonight. I was just curious on the Industrial Development Board, has there been any activity, recent activity? Nothing recent?
Nothing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Phil, one more question? One more comment?
I don't want to come up there real quick, but guys, Commissioners, I appreciate everything you guys have done. But do we have anything to do with the the tourism board? I keep hearing a lot of these meetings, we talk about tourism dollars. When you drive in 70, the sign is completely fouled. I've been keeping track. I ain't said it in like 3 months. The sign just growed up, the fabric portion of it is gone, was flopping around in the wind. 3 months like that. I see we just got a big tourism board. I mean, heck, if you don't know where you're going, how you gonna come visit?
I'm not aware of can you comment on the tourism board? Order in the court, guys, please, no discussion amongst yourselves.
I have seen, I know what he's referring to, find out who really is in charge of that, I believe it's the chamber.
The chamber, I thought maybe the chamber, but I wasn't for sure.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
check on that, but I'm pretty sure it's the chamber.
Thank you. Entertain a motion to adjourn? Second. Everybody in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.